Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace, and today I'm going to give you a really quick overview of a new program that we're doing for creating products that actually build a community. This is a live workshop that we're doing in July in our private circle community. I'm going to give you the actual. Oh, does that capture the whole thing? I can't tell if you can see all that or not. Let's move this over. That should be it. We're going to give you the entire outline right here so you can see if it's something that you are interested in doing. You can get the free PDF actually as well, and then there will be a full workshop that you can apply these principles and really quickly build a great business for yourself in July. So essentially, the course is creating products that actually build a community. I'm a big believer in the notion that creating endless streams of products or content courses for sale is not necessarily the most skillful way of building a brand or building a publishing platform. I think that introducing community or cohorts into your brand, business, and publishing platform is really the quintessential approach to building something that actually has enduring value to yourself and your members. And by the way, makes it a lot more fun. So here is the simple outline of the process that I use and recommend. This is a little bit cut down so it can fit into a one-page PDF, but that was sort of the point. So number one is you want to pick an LMS. Any LMS will do. Something like Gumroad or Podia is my preference. Even a Buy Me a Coffee or WooCommerce works really well with different advantages for each of them. But the key is really to keep this step simple. You're going to want to incorporate an affiliate or ambassador/partnership program. That's one of the reasons that I prefer something like Gumroad or Podia over something like WooCommerce or even Buy Me a Coffee, because the affiliate marketing element really has to be front and center using this marketing map that I'm laying out for you here. Something like Gumroad is free to start, which makes it really advantageous for those of you who are building something on a bootstrap budget. What you just looked at, or this product here, is actually on Gumroad, and it costs me nothing to actually take advantage of all of Gumroad's great features, or at least the initial features before you have to start paying something to use their tool. Podia is also great. You can look at our partners.mindfulmarketplace.com course community. We have a shit ton of courses there. I think 35 live courses and another 15 or so that have been retired. But the difference there is Podia charges a fee. We're on the $79 a month plan, which is great, but a lot of people don't want to spend that to start. They don't charge any fees, so you don't pay anything per transaction. On Gumroad you do, on Buy Me a Coffee you do, etc. Anywhere from 3 to 5 to even 8% contingent upon the platform. The most important piece of this process is not to stress or obsess or procrastinate on picking the perfect e-commerce platform. It doesn't exist. Each one has its own unique benefits. So just pick the one that works best for you. All right, number two is just simply creating your content. I recommend using the content cornerstone approach. This is where you silo everything you know into buckets, right? So, I have documents and documentation and PDFs on this. So if that's an unfamiliar term to you, I recommend you either join us or, look through some of the content that I've created on what a content cornerstone is. It's sort of like the antithesis of the endless outline. It's actually a very structured document that lays out everything that you know in a very siloed and organized way. And again, finite focus is much preferable over fierce focus, right? You want to build a boundary or a bucket around all the individual elements of your course. Keep it small, right? Think small, but scale or series, and avoid the urge to overwhelm your audience with everything you know. Again, when I differentiate between the different kinds of focus, fierce focus, someone who's really focused on building a content info info product oriented business or a content related business, you can be really focused on that and never get anything done. When you have finite focus, you actually build parameters around what it is that you're creating, and you stay within those parameters, so you're done when you're done, right? You're not endlessly creating new content that you're including or adding or feature creeping into your course, your coaching, your product, your download, etc. All right, the universe is telling you the exact course, product, or program you need to create for your business. I don't mean that in some esoteric way. I mean the universe insofar as the people in the world who are in your client universe, your audience universe, are actually telling you the things that they want to learn, that they need to know about what it is that you have experience or expertise in, right? So use keyword tools that tell you that, right? And the exact problems that need to be solved and quickly. And what I recommend here is Answer the Public. It's a question and answer oriented tool, which actually pulls questions that people are asking that you can answer in your niche industry area of experience or expertise. And it's much better than the more generic keyword research that most folks use that doesn't really lead to anything in particular. All right, message over medium, right? You don't need to use fancy tools or tech. I'm recording this right now using a Mac screen recorder and my voice, right? I mean, like, there's nothing else to it other than that. You don't need a fancy studio or some fancy microphone or anything else, templates, etc. Just with your own experience, expertise, and willingness to help people, that's really all you need. All right, number 3, affiliates. Affiliates are hugely important. It's why I recommend Gumroad or Podia or something like that, because they have built-in affiliate modules. You want to email outreach your niche neighbors. That means people who are in your industry. You send an email to, and you tell them you have a new product. You give it to them for free, and you ask them to, if they approve of what you've created and if it's appropriate for their audience, to become an affiliate for you and email their audience your offer. And you want to just be generous when you do that. You want to overpay people 70%, 80% of the initial sale, because you're going to have the back end is where the back end funnel is where you really start to monetize the traffic that your niche neighbors, your professional peers, and the affiliates who are giving you, right? So if I give you 1,000 of my customers because I promoted one of your products and you paid me, a 7 out of every $10 worth of the sale that I made, well, I'd made $7,000, and that's great. You didn't make nearly as much, but on that next offer that you email the people that I referred to you, my customers that I gave to you for the $7,000 commission, you now pay me nothing on those next, conversions. If you're offering coaching or another product or another course, that's all. You've just leveraged my audience to build your brand and your business by incentivizing me as an affiliate. It's really, really a powerful thing that most people fail to recognize. You want to overpay in the beginning, and you also, by the way, you want to be able to email your audience my offers, right? So it's a reciprocal thing, this affiliate ambassador oriented kind of relationship. All right. You also invite everyone who is part of who becomes part of your platform, who's an email, subscriber or an opt-in subscriber, to become an ambassador or a professional platform partner for your brand and business, and to become an evangelist for your business, and you incentivize them, right? It's very, very easy, very powerful, and this is really how you're going to scale your business. Number 4, we're really focused on cohorts. Cohorts are a very, very refined way of looking at building a community. So you create these small groups of people who are on a path together with an end objective in mind, or it's goal oriented, but they go through the course together, or they go through the coaching program together. It's not this sort of always open, nobody knows each other sort of environment. It's a very tightly knit group of people who are interacting and engaging with your content, your course, your product, your program together. And I like to keep these cohorts within a certain time frame. right? So June 2021 cohort, July 2021 cohort, September cohort, April cohort. You keep people who are going through something together in a very structured way, and that's a great way of building relationships, rapport, and building the future proofing of your platform in some way, because people feel connected to each other as well as to you, rather than kind of feeling anonymous and not really, fully, fully being committed or compelled to want to continue to engage with your content, your course, and your community. The really important thing that I've learned about this, doing this, and it's not my epiphany or insight, is that 50% of the value of your course when you use cohorts is actually the cohort, right? So you have a lot lower bar in terms of what you're actually expected to do. And let me restate that, not what you're expected to do, but what you need to do to make people feel like they are involved in something that's valuable, viable, that gives them a sense of joy and and enjoyment in terms of being part of something that you've created. If it's always a fire hose of one directional flow, if you're always sending content out to the community and you're the only voice that matters, you're going to have a really generally, um, not a great experience for yourself or your audience, right? But if they are interacting with each other and you are sort of the first amongst equals in that community, you are the leader because you've created the actual platform, right? Or the course or the coaching. But folks learn with, you know, learn best through community and interactivity and by dint of immersing themselves in the experiences of others, right? People may be inspired by words, but they are transformed through experience. And the experience is something that not necessarily you are giving folks directly. I mean, if you're Anthony Robbins, and I'm agnostic about Anthony Robbins, but if you're Anthony Robbins and you are speaking to a audience of 5,000 people at one of these, great big seminars, and he's the only person who's talking, and there's no other interactivity or sense of community or cohort, people are going to have a much different appreciation of that experience versus being involved with other people and sharing an experience with a group within a dynamic, interactive, experiential sort of environment where you're not the only person doing the talking, right? So I think that's really important. Lastly, pro-social pressure, use tracking and goals and metrics that matter to keep people moving forward. Ask people how they're doing. What are the objectives they've accomplished, achieved, and using that sort of pro-social pressure can be really, really helpful in moving all this forward. All right, I'm going to finish this up within the next 90 seconds because I like to keep these under 15 minutes, preferably under 10, but I just can't drink. I can't stop drinking caffeine nor talking very fast, as everyone knows at this point. All right, number 5, scale. Just keep creating new content, new courses, new cohorts. Be imaginative and creative, and use funnels. And I don't mean funnels in this very cheesy marketing speak sort of way, but use funnels insofar as each product can be an entry point into your brand, your business, into your universe. And if someone signs up for a free product here, you can send them an email sequence that promotes something else, that promotes your community. You can just do all kinds of imaginative things once you get into this very content, course, cohort related creation process. All right, strategy, structure, sequence, and story. This is hugely important to how I think about everything related to building a business. What's the big idea? That's the strategy. Structure, what goes where and why. What does it look like on paper? Right? So, graph it out. Sequence, what goes when and why, like what levers are pulled in what sequence of steps to make all this work. And lastly, story, why it matters to you and why it ought to matter to the rest of us. And if you're building a community, having a cohesive statement of purpose or a manifesto or some sort of mission statement is very, very persuasive if you are identifying your ideal audience the right way, which you should be. Again, if you're interested in joining us, being part of this July cohort, you can sign up at the link below. I'm going to have the link. It's a Gumroad free sign up page where you can get access to this PDF. You can get access to this recording, and you'll get an email notification when we're ready to actually open the private forum or the space, the cohort within our forum. Okay, teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. Thanks.